What is up guys, welcome back today to another video on this channel, and in today's video I am back with another spectacular book. So before we jump in the book, let me tell you that this video is going to be different than the other videos because here I am reviewing a book which I haven't read at all and I've listened it as an audiobook. Before we jump into the story, let me share you my first experience of listening to an audiobook. I enjoyed it like anything. It was extremely amazing. It was so amazing. Now I prefer audiobooks more than books. The first plus point of audiobooks is that you can do any work. You can continue your work and just can put on a headset or earphone or something and can listen to the story. It's so amazing. And the second plus point is that it has a huge impact on you. Like this book, in the first part of the book, it's extremely emotional. Second part is extremely happy. Third part is again extremely emotional. So in the first part of the book itself, tears were welled up in my eyes. It was as if somebody was telling me their own story. They were sharing me their own story or some story, and it had a huge impact on me. And I started crying. This is the third book in my channel where I have cried while reading the book. Well, never mind. Without any further ado, let me reveal you the book. So the book is The Butterfly Lion by Michael Morpurgo. I was extremely excited. I didn't even know that I had a book of Michael Morpurgo. Of course I didn't have it, but I got to know it from one of the books which I had it in my library. So it all started because of this really huge, massive collection of the extracts of some really classic stories. So what happened is that I was thinking what I could do, what I could review the next video that is going to be amazing. And when I came across this huge, massive collection, and I saw who chose the stories and put it in this massive collection, it was by Rosemary Sandberg and Michael Morpurgo. I was extremely excited. I had another book of Michael Morpurgo. Yay! And I saw each and every story, extract of the story in this book, and I came across one extract, that is The Butterfly Lion. It was written by Michael Morpurgo himself. Other stories, other extracts were written by Mark Twain and Roald Dahl and Charles Dickens, etc., etc. Even though they weren't the story, they were just an extract of the story. I was pretty eager to see each and every story. I saw each and every story. When I read this story, The Butterfly Lion, I was so eager to read the book and wanted to review it. But when I saw the cost of the book, I was extremely shocked and horrified. The cost was $21,000 in hardcover edition. I thought that what really valuable thing was in this book, and that's the reason why I thought why not listen it and as an audiobook, and here I am reviewing the audiobook. So now, without any further ado, let's review the book. Let's jump into the book. So in this book, the main character is Michael Morpurgo himself. But that doesn't mean that this book is a non-fictional. It is a fictional book, but the main character's name is Michael Morpurgo. Let's call him Michael. So Michael tried running away from his school because of the bullies in his school and because of his teacher. He didn't like his teacher, he didn't like his bullies, and he tried of running away. While he catched up with an old lady and she asked, "Where are you going, my boy? Now it's raining and you shouldn't go anywhere or else you may catch a cold. You can come with me into my house." And he followed her into her house, and after 10 to 20 minutes they became familiar, and the old lady shared her story, which was extremely lengthy, while Michael was already shared his story that he was running away from his school. The old lady told us, "No, you should never run away from a school." That's what Bertie said. And now Michael was curious. Who is this Bertie guy? And he asked her. Then she began this story. So this story began with a young child whose name was Bertie, and they had a really huge farm and a small cottage, and he would live there, and he can't go out of the fences which his father covered because it might be dangerous. There were wolves and tigers. Back in the old days, the houses were in the middle of forests. That's the reason why they didn't allow him to go out and face the danger. One time, what happens is that he was sitting on top of a really huge branch in his house, nearby his house, and when he saw a pond with many hyenas drinking water, while then he saw them suddenly running away. They were scared by lions. There were actual lions there in Africa where he was living, and it was a white lion. There was a white lioness along with her cub, and they both were drinking water and they gone back. The next day, Bertie's father came with a really happy news. I've caught her! I've caught her! After killing many cows and buffaloes in my cattle, I've finally caught her. And then Bertie saw the same white lion who was in the pond the day earlier. And Bertie started crying. She has a child! Now the child is going to remain hungry all alone in the forest. He started shouting and he was panicking. His mother was worried too, but she didn't believe him that there was a white lion. One time, what happens is that Bertie was sitting on the top of the branch of the same tree when he saw a lion cub. But he wasn't sure that it was a white lion or no, because he was covered with full of dirt, and there he saw a pack of hyenas which were making a circle around the lion cub. Now Bertie had to break his promise. He came out of the fence and shouted at the top of his lungs and tried to save the lion cub. He tried the best as he could because the lion hyenas ran away, but not far away. They saw what is going to happen, and soon they made a circle around Bertie and lion cub too. Now Bertie was a bit nervous, and then that's when Bertie's mother took action. She took her out the rifle and shot in the midair, and the impact of the sound made the hyenas run away. Bertie was happy because he didn't want to be a food for a pack of hyenas. They took the lion cub too, made him bath for 5 to 10 times, and then they could see the true color of the lion cub. It was white indeed, just like Bertie said. They fed him real properly, and the lion cub would take a really huge naps. The only person in the family who didn't like that there was a lion cub in the family, as included in the family, was Bertie's father. He didn't like that idea at all. What if it grows up? What if it attacks us too? Then he started panicking, but Bertie and Bertie's mother started cooling him down. And she also told that Bertie didn't have a brother nor a sister, and this lion cub was his only companion. He was his brother, he was Bertie's sister, and now Bertie was kind of happy than before when he was extremely lonely. Soon they were good friends. One time it happens when Bertie has to depart to England for higher studies because he was in the age of 8 and he didn't have proper studies, so he had to go there, while the lion cub was sold for a circus man. Before that, Bertie promised that he would see the lion cub sometime and he would not forget it, and then they both departed away. In England, he gets a new friend. It was the old lady who is telling the story to Michael now. She was his new friend. They would always meet in the Sundays, they would chit chat and then go away, and Bertie also discussed the story of lion while she told hers. The next time it happens that both of them had to depart because now Bertie was old enough to join the army force to protect the British, and she was old enough to join and become a nurse, and they both departed again. They wrote letters for each other to just keep in contact, and that's when Bertie gets to know from his father that his mother died. Now, Bertie's father married again to a new woman, and that Bertie didn't like at all. And when he joined the army force, that he saved two people struggling with a shot in his leg. He had a huge pain in his leg. Even though he had a pain, he saved his two friends, his two companions. And soon, he was unconscious. Back when he was awoke, he saw his two friends whom he saved. Both were happy. And now, Bertie was happy too. But what happens is that until the ending, Bertie didn't recover at all. Now, this old lady was reading the magazine while she saw a really huge column of Bertie. And she was really happy to see Bertie in magazine. And she was thinking, where could Bertie be? Where could Bertie be? While it was written that Bertie was just near a hospital. And this old lady got to know that that hospital was just 10 miles far away from the hospital where she is being as a nurse. Soon, the next day, she took a bicycle, rode there, and then when she gone there, Bertie was asleep. When she woke him up, he was happy to see her. He didn't write many letters for the past 3 years because he thought that he wouldn't recover at all. He thought that he would die, and he didn't want her to recognize it because she will feel a lot. She will be unhappy, and that's the reason why he covered it. He didn't even know that he will be alive, but thank God he was. And then they were chit-chatting again and again. Each and every Sundays they were going, not only Sundays, every day. One time while they were outing, they saw a poster. In this poster, it was written as the White Prince. That's what Bertie used to call his white lion cub. And he told, it's him! It's him! It's the white lion cub! I want to see him as soon as possible. And then he got to know that the circus was just about 10 to 20 miles far away. They rode there and they could see the circus, but it was no more. It was extremely destroyed. And then Bertie saw the same man whom he lended the white lion cub. He was not with the white lion because now you can't call it a cub. It has been many years since Bertie saw him, and he might be old. And then he saw the white lion. It was so huge, and it recognized Bertie as soon as he met him, and he went there, and he just hugged him in a kind of a way. And Bertie liked it. He would scratch in the middle of both of the lion's eyes, which the lion would enjoy a lot. And he was planning to keep the lion, and he would take it to his home. And what happens is that Bertie and the old lady marry, and they were staying in this house, the same house where Michael is listening to the story. And what happens is that due to old age, the animal dies, the lion dies. But he wasn't unhappy because each and every animal dies, and one day he will die too. And he made a graveyard for it, and he thought that something must be a huge memorial for the lion, and that's the reason why they made a sculpture of the lion, and it showed as if the lion was alive. Not the sculpture, but the butterflies sitting on it. The butterflies were sitting on it, and it was showing as if the lion was roaring, it was shouting and all, but it wasn't actually. And then one day, Bertie dies too. His graveyard was just near the lion. He was so happy to see the lion again. He thought that he would never see the lion, nor the old lady. Now the old lady concludes her story right away, and she wants Michael to go back to school. While Michael went back, he asked one of his professors, "Sir, do you know Bertie Anderson?" And his professor replied, "He died before 10 to 12 years ago, and I know him because when I was newly employed to the school, he died at the same time. And his wife died too because she was heartbroken that her husband died, and after a few months, she died too." Now Michael was extremely confused. What? Is the professor lying to me? But I just talked to Bertie's wife. And then he was thinking and thinking, so curious that he couldn't sleep the night at all. The next day he went to the same place, but he couldn't see the old lady at all. Then one of the voices, some voice told in his mind it was the same voice of the old lady. And he replied, but Michael replied, I would never forget you, nor Bertie, nor the White Prince. You're a huge part in my life. I will never forget the story you told me, and it was the best I ever heard, ever. And I'll conclude the story right here. It's so amazing, so emotional, so happy, fantastic, the best book. And this book has taken place as my most favorite book. You know, I read many books, so my first most favorite always changes. So I conclude this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a big thumbs up to this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And turn on the post notifications so that you could enjoy many other books which I am going to come. And I hope that it not would be emotional, you know. I am reviewing many emotional books now. By the way, I'll meet you guys in my next video. Till then, goodbye.